Ain't nothing like that good old poem music to start out the show. What up, what up, what up? And welcome to a special edition of Journey of a Jackass. You know what I'm saying? And I am your host with the most, Daya Shakur. You know what I'm saying? As y'all can see, I'm not here alone today. You know what I'm saying? This is a special, very, very special edition. This is the Daredevil edition. You know what I'm talking about? The Daredevil edition. You know what I'm talking about? We really gonna get into this. You know what I'm saying? What we liked, what we didn't like, what we thought of the finale, all that. You know what I'm saying? The Daredevil edition. You understand me? Daredevil edition. Now, without further ado, I know you've seen these two wonderful people on my show before, Keith Franks and Amanda. Introduce yourselves for the people that don't know who y'all are.
What up, what up, what up, party people? It is Amanda joining my crazy and kooky friend, Daya Shakur, who started the show off talking about Marvel with porn music. I'm also your host of Life Uncensored, live navigating adulthood one episode at a time. What's up?
Yes.
What's up, world?
Yes.
My name is Keith Franks, better known as Reggie. I was introduced to my good friend and my brother from another mother now, Daya, by Miss Amanda. And my life has changed for the better because of that. We've been in touch with one another a few times, and it's great. And I'm looking forward to speaking on this special Daredevil edition.
Hey, man, listen, now, let's get straight into this. Before we break down the whole season, what the hell did y'all think about the finale? Now, I know y'all on Amanda's show won't be cussing, but I ain't like that shit. If the
like, I mean, you could cuss. I cuss. But I ain't like that shit either. I ain't know. I was really like, that's it? Is this the commercial break? What's happening?
Man, look. But we gonna get into it. Come on, Mr. Reggie. What you thought?
It was a total letdown. It was for those of your universe that know, it was Game of Thrones season 8. It was a total letdown. We were so hyped up for the ending, and it just was a big turd in the toilet.
Yep. So look, this my thing right here, right? So this my thing. I firmly believe, and I know we've had this conversation, that if the Punisher wasn't in the finale, it would have been a complete throwaway.
Yeah,
complete throwaway. Like the Punisher kind of tried to save it, right? Yes. It kind of tried to save it, but I was like, hey man, the Punisher, John Bernthal is easily the best Punisher ever, easily, hands down.
Yeah, without thought.
But he kind of saved the episode, right? And then I didn't understand where Kingpin started getting. He's always been stronger and more and bigger, more powerful than everybody else. But I didn't understand where he got that strength from. You know what I'm saying?
Other than just pure anger and hatred based on how he grew up. That's it. Because he ain't got him and Punisher are the only ones in the Daredevil universe, so to speak, that don't have some sort of superhuman power.
Well, so what's crazy is I read a theory about it. It said that when he was running for mayor, he had to be slim, fit, and all that stuff. And then after he won mayor, he started eating all those carbs in the basement where he was keeping old buddy at. and he started bulking back up, getting his strength back up.
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, an okay theory.
It's an okay theory. It's again, that's just another part of the letdown, because if you're not a diehard Daredevil / Marvel fan, like I know from previous shows that Kingpin is like 370 pounds of pure muscle. He has like 0% body fat. So that's where the strength would come from. But if you're not a seasoned Marvel person, how would you know that? If you're just somebody watching this for the first time, how would you know that?
Right, exactly. Yep. I was thrown off the first episode, and I was like, oh, he's smaller than usual. But my thought process was, well, he just coming off of getting shot and being laying low for so long, maybe he just been chilling. And I thought no more about it. But as the season progressed, I was like, yeah, it's time. I need you to bulk back up, buddy. I don't know. They need to give you a fat suit, something. I don't know what they need to do, but I need to see Kingpin in his natural state.
And then even when he was in Hawkeye, they be like, oh, the big guys coming. The big guys coming.
Yeah.
The big fellas coming. You know what I'm saying? So, but the finale, I mean, it's set up, the way they set up the finale, I firmly believe we're going to get like maybe 3 or 4 more seasons of Daredevil. Because the street level fighting is phenomenal. I was hoping when he said he put the team together, I was hoping to see the female White Tiger, maybe Jessica Jones, maybe you know what I'm saying, maybe Luke Cage, Power Man, you know what I'm saying, maybe even Spider-Man popping his head in. You know what I'm saying?
Right, because they mentioned Spider-Man several times throughout the season. Several times. So yeah, I was expecting to see some sort of something regarding him. Oh shit, we lose Daya?
I think we did. But we're not gonna have dead air in the meantime.
And there it is.
Right.
But yeah, I was expecting the same, like what he was saying. Elektra even. Like I was expecting to see the hand bring her back or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't even have mention of the hand. We know the hand never truly dies. Like,
exactly.
He crippled it for a while, but it never truly dies. So there's so many different ways they could go. They could have gone with this to leave us the way they did. Again, it was such a disappointment.
Yeah, I feel like the episode, what was that, 7? It's 8 episodes, right? Yeah, so episode 7, the one where Daredevil gets, spoiler alert for those who ain't seen it yet, go watch it. Where Daredevil gets shot at the end of the episode. I feel like that left us more, that was more of a season finale episode than the actual season finale episode.
Right. And can I say this while we're waiting for Daya to get back? Honestly, leading up to season 8 and episode 8 and season 2, shout out to the actors because they really have done a great job. The Punisher is so gory, and even the Kingpin when he had the altercation down in the basement, the actors have done a phenomenal job, and hopefully the writers can welcome back, sir.
Hey, yeah, I was listening. I was trying to say something, but somebody called my phone more than once, and then it just kind of
kicked everything off. Well, listen, stop having porn stars have you in such a high ass demand.
Hope she tell all her friends.
right. Bring a friend. Exactly.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But look, I heard what y'all saying though. When Daredevil did get shot, I can see like, okay, they ended right there. But still, even in that episode, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough violence. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Yeah.
But that ending scene was enough, in my opinion. Was more of, not enough. Was more of a season finale type cliffhanger than the actual season finale was.
Right.
Yep. Now my question is: now we know that the Punisher is back on the loose, right?
Yeah.
So the Punisher is a self-serving individual. So is he going to link back up with Daredevil? Is he going to go wage his own war against Fist? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like what is going to happen with him? Because they're going to put a twist on the Punisher, right? Certainly. And he's getting his own. He's not getting a full series. He's getting one standalone show. Mm-hmm. So yeah, he's not getting. Yeah, the Punisher's just getting like how they did Werewolf by Night. Yeah, they're doing a Punisher show like that.
Yeah.
So, this with him breaking out, this may be, we may see him venture off trying to escape or something like that, and this where we may see him get recruited by the Midnight Suns or something like that, and he leave all the street level action to Daredevil. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
Could be. I mean, the Punisher. Is probably, along with Wolverine, our favorite anti-heroes. So that's what we love about him, because we know that with most of the heroes, there's a certain line that they won't cross, and he has no problem. And that's why he saved episode 8. The gore of how he was taking them dudes out.
Yeah.
It was episode 9. Episode 9 was the last episode.
Okay, episode
9. Okay, yeah. I couldn't remember if it was 8 episodes or 9 episodes.
Yeah, 9. Yeah, 8 is when Daredevil got shot.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That was
Spoiler
everything.
alert.
Yeah.
Listen, I feel like the whole season, the season as a whole, opened up so many doorways for numerous possibilities. We might see a glimpse of Spider-Man. We might see Elektra. We might see the Hand again. We might see what's the dude with Jessica Jones? Purple Man. Purple
I
Man.
know. I don't think they're going to. Now, I'm going to tell you, they probably going to bring Purple Man back for Battle World. Like some of the villains.
I can see that.
Some of the villains that were introduced that are gone, we're going to see in Battle World.
Yeah. I can definitely see that.
In the Secret Wars, we're going to see Thanos again. We're going to see Ultron again. Like, we, you know what I'm saying? We're going to see certain characters that were here again. You know what I'm saying?
I just feel like it's been so long since we've seen some of them, like because the shows haven't been on for so long, they're going to have to give us a reintroduction, so to speak. Like they're going to have to bring them to the forefront so you remember them real quick. Nothing elaborate, but just a little, even if it's just a mention.
So they've been trying to do that. If you think about it in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, they had Baron Zemo in there. Like they've been trying to bring back the
little by little
and bring and mention them and stuff like that. They've been trying to do it.
Yeah. You know who I would love to see as a twist, since he ain't get his own new season, Moon Knight, because there is crossover with Moon Knight and Daredevil.
Yeah. That would be good too.
He's another one. I would love to see that.
Yes.
Yeah. Since they bailed on bringing back his show, I can see them throwing him a little bone that way.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. His show was like top 3 out of all the MCU shows. His was top 3.
Yeah,
Moon Knight.
Yeah, and even the ending, that finale was a finale.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
definitely.
I was like, okay, I can see that, because they do need to start assembling the Midnight Suns, but I don't know how they're gonna do it with Blade being canceled. The movie.
On again, off again with Blade.
Yeah.
What I don't know why they just don't give the role to Wesley Snipes, and show the older age Blade. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then let his character go the way it's supposed to. You know what I mean? So, I didn't think recasting him was a good idea in the first place. But back to Daredevil. Back to Daredevil. We do this. We'll be doing this all day.
Facts.
All right, so in one of the things let's go around the table real quick. 3 things you like about Born Again, this season of Born Again. 3 things that you like. Let's start with you, Reggie.
3 things that I like. Well, I don't know if you heard everything when you took your hiatus, but shout out to the actors, because they really are carrying it. They carried episode 9. The writing was not that good. They carried episode 9.
The actors themselves, you mean?
Yes, the actors themselves. Specifically, when we had our last conversation about Marvel, and we were asked by Miss Amanda who was our favorite villain, and I said Kingpin, and you both was like Kingpin, but Vincent, whatever his last name is, has truly
D'Onofrio.
Yes, he has brought that character out pretty much throughout, even with the original Daredevil and the brief showing in Hawkeye. He has really made him what we, in our minds from reading comic books, viewed him to be. I like the fact that this dude has had some tragedy. He really has had some tragedy. He's going through some stuff. It's other than the last episode, it's not been bad.
No, it's been a phenomenal season. You know, I agree with that.
So okay,
really quick, but one last thing. Vanessa is worse than her husband, dude. That chick power has totally corrupted her from being working this little art gallery. She was the one who started all of this by what she did. I'm not trying to spoil it for people who may go back and look at it, but she actually started all of this.
Agreed.
Okay, come on, man. Tell me what you got.
My 3 favorite things is I love how they shot this season. I feel like the direction was perfect. It was giving us a bunch of different perspectives all at once by using the, the news, the people being interviewed on the street, using that perspective was so good. So like you're seeing somebody being interviewed or you're hearing them being interviewed why this action is happening over here. I thought it was perfect. I love that they like really leaned into what we saw in the comic books, which was the gore. Like they showed it. They didn't insinuate it this time. Like the last season was, it'd be a punch, it'd be a hit, it'd be whatever. And that was pretty much it. But seeing a neck snap, seeing what dude looked like when Fisk squeezed his head and the jaw, like I was on the TV like this, like, yo, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I really love how they leaned into it, considering the platform that is on top of that, right?
Yeah.
I really love how they leaned into that because it takes it back to what we did actually see in the comic books. Like we saw the gore in the comic books, so it brought it to life. And then lastly, I love kind of what you're saying, Reggie. I loved how they showed us the development of Vanessa. I love that. And the dynamic, how it kind of shifted between her and Wilson. And then towards the end, it shifted back. Like you saw her tangibly regain her respect for him. Yeah. Because at first it was kind of like, you soft motherfucker, you whatever. But then you saw that change, towards the end. So those are top 3 faves of the season.
Okay, so mine's is how they number one is how they did Daredevil in this one. How he was flying around the rooms. He was actually using his hearing as a superior superior ability, as a superpower. He was actually using that, right? How he was flying around roof to roof, running around, actually using his cane to fly around. I love that. How they showed his toughness. So how they displayed Daredevil as a whole, his toughness was phenomenal. Look how it started out with Bullseye. Look how many times he got stabbed up before he threw Bullseye off the roof.
Yeah, dog.
You know what I'm saying? He got shot up and he was still in there fighting with the Punisher. You know what I'm saying? He got shot. He was getting his ass beat and he was still doing this thing, right? So that's one thing. I really love that part. I was like, okay, so they finally doing Daredevil some justice. Because in the other one, he was doing what Netflix budget could. But this one with the CGI and all that stuff, him running across roofs, him running at Muse and stuff like that. Running that Muse fight. The fight scene with Muse was amazing.
Yeah, like, underground. Yeah.
Yes, that was amazing. So I think they did a good job with that with Daredevil. Two, one of the things I liked was the Hector Ayala story. I like that. I like that.
And then we saw the whole story.
Yeah, because I never paid attention to that story. I only picked up White Tiger when the girl took it over, his niece.
Yes.
Okay.
So the build up. Now we know what's coming in season 2. She is dead.
Yeah.
The build up is there. So I like how they incorporated the Hector Ayala story because he was the original one. And may he rest in peace, but he died right after they finished filming the season in real life.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that he got a chance to do his piece and stuff. Now, if he didn't, they probably would have kept him a little bit longer into the story.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
So I like how they worked that part in, right? And then 3, the Punisher. It wasn't too much of the Punisher. It was enough of the Punisher, right? The Punisher, the character development in this was good. I like the gore. Like y'all said, I agree with the gore and all that stuff. But the Punisher, like I said, he made the finale. He was the one that really, really pushed him to push Daredevil to get back in the suit. Like, hey man, what are you doing? Say his name. It's time to go fight. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So so I really I was like, Cherry had a little something to do with it, but no, it was those words from the Punisher.
Yeah.
So I like those 3 things.
Can I talk about how much I hated what's the chick's name? The therapist? I freaking hated her. I needed her to die.
The girlfriend.
I needed her to die. That off subject, but on subject. I needed her. She was getting on my goddamn nerves.
No, you know what? She is Vanessa 2.0. She really started off as like this nice person, and you can see her changing. Even like when he offers her the job, she knows what it is, and she's like,
know what it is.
Right, I'd be honored to do it. She's getting corrupted, and you can see it. You can see her changing right before your eyes. Maybe a little bit more subtle than Vanessa, but it's the same change.
I'll give you that.
Yep.
I'll give you that. Yeah.
True. Now, and one more thing. This is a consolation prize. One more thing that I did like too. This is just me. Buck Cashman. I think they portrayed Buck right because he's Bullet in the comic books. So I think they portrayed him just right. Buck Cashman. That's
his scene in the hospital room in the infirmary.
Yeah. So I think they did Buck Cashman right. But okay, so now 3 things you didn't like. Let's go the opposite way this time. Come on, man. The 3 things you didn't like.
Well, I ain't like homegirl. She was getting on my motherfucking nerves. The therapist. Something that I noticed, and I'm saying noticed, I don't know if that's the right word, but what I didn't like was a few things that were not addressed. And the very first thing that was not addressed was they left us, the last time we saw Daredevil, they left us with Paige murdering the motherfucker. And then that was it.
Paige, yep, that was it.
She did, okay. That's it. Like, ain't nobody gonna address this. We gonna act like that ain't happened. And so they came into this season. I'm like, all right, so they definitely we gonna see a little something, even if it's a flashback or something. And they ain't address it. I would like that scene that addressed.
Remember, Karen don't live in the city no more. She moved to San Francisco.
Yes, I get that. But I still feel like they should have given us a little something. Yeah. Again, it didn't have to be in an elaborate, not even a whole episode. It could have been one scene, her having a flashback, something could have happened to kind of address that, because I'm like, you kind of left us hanging on. Now what? All right. Yeah. So that's that part I didn't care for. And the other thing, like I was just saying earlier, was I'm looking for next season us to see big Kingpin. I wish they had, like, over time, like you said, kind of, even if it was a thing of, okay, during his, candidacy or whatever, that he was trying to look cute for the public, but as he got more and more into it, if we saw him get bigger and bigger, that would have did it for me. Yeah.
Reggie?
The biggest thing I didn't like, kind of same thing Amanda's saying, the last time we saw Daredevil, he was in some hospital with some nuns attending to him. Remember, a building fell on him. A whole fucking building fell on him. We thought he died. Okay, of course, he wakes up. And,
born again.
Born again. And the nuns are helping him. I'm not really sure if he had a memory or didn't have a memory when he woke up, but he woke up, and again, now he's just back in New York practicing law. And no flashback, no explanation, no nothing. He's just hanging out with Foggy and Karen, and it's like they didn't miss a beat. But it had to be a significant amount of time from him recovering from wherever he was to them picking the story back up to where it started in this series.
And you know what was crazy? I'm glad you said that, right? Because when the building did fall, like you said, where was the lapse? There was a lapse in time and stuff like that, right? So,
because not to cut you off, I want to hear your thought. At least everybody mentions. There's a mention in every Marvel story that has come behind the first Avengers. Everybody mentions the invasion, the aliens. They just never mentioned nothing. I'm sorry, I had to get that off.
No, because you got a couple more. I don't like another thing that they didn't talk nothing about is what their lives was like during the blip. They didn't. Yeah. That's another thing, because we didn't get a Daredevil between then and now. What their life was like during the blip, like what happened. I was looking for that. So, but go ahead, Reggie. My bad. I didn't want to interrupt because you were talking about the flashbacks and stuff.
Yeah. So that was the biggest thing. Foggy. I don't know if I like his new partner.
The
chick. Yeah. I don't know if I like her. She.
Right.
Yeah, she just all right. So I'm looking forward to her character development because I don't think he can afford to have another partner. So she's going to have to be there. But she's just not she's very vanilla to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, the best thing that she did in the whole series was introduce him to the therapist chick.
Yeah.
And then the therapist chick made me mad. So
So now she's guilty by association.
now she got
Yeah.
like big facts. Like you introduced this bitch. Like what are we doing here? Like
Yeah,
and then there was no time lapse with that storyline. Like y'all introduced. Okay, y'all went out on a little coffee date, and the next thing you know, the bitch living with him. Like what is happening here?
Yeah, for real.
They doing a lot. So I don't know about that. And I mean, it's funny because I'm applauding Marvel because we grew up with everybody having a secret identity, and nobody's identity was ever basically discovered. And in the rare times that it was, somebody got hit in the head and lost their memory or they died. But the fact that Marvel has done a great job of saying this is the 21st fucking century and nobody can keep that many secrets. So Fisk knows who Daredevil is. Daredevil knows you understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I like that, but in the same, it's just like the MCU or Marvel, and I love Kevin Feige. He is the fucking man, but it's too many holes, and you're not going to plug them all, but just try to plug as many as you can.
Well, the other part of that, to your point, Reggie, is that we're used to dealing with Earth 616.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In MCU, there's multiple Earths, right?
Right.
So where we see certain characters like on Earth 1999, for example, what they're doing is like they're fusing not all of, but the ones that we know the most recognizable Earths together, and they're trying to put all the stories together. And I think that's part of like what you're saying.
Yeah, now I can tell you, and this no bullshit. Like even with the Fantastic Four, I think the way that movie is going to end is their world is going to get destroyed because their movie involves time travel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so their movie involves time travel. So they're going to I think Galactus is going to win that battle, and then they're going to move to a different multiverse, which is going to be the main time, the second timeline.
I'm going sidebar again, still on topic, but off topic. Mm-hmm. Reggie was getting on me. Watch Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Watch it. So I watched it, and then me and my kid binge watched it. Mm-hmm. Daya, watch that shit. Like
I'm on episode 3.
That shit, yo, like that did for me what Daredevil didn't do at the finale. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
But I say all that to say that there's so many mentions of all the things we're talking about right now in that. Yeah, I think that's another way, like another plug into what we're going to see, more granular, because they are mentioning so much we're seeing. The last episode, my son was hyped. He was like, "Mom, pay attention," because he had watched it. He had binged it before me, sucker. And so we watching it. He's like making sure I'm paying attention. He's like, "Watch," and I look. I'm like, "Oh."
So this the crazy shit right here, though, right? So because we had to talk about this the other day. I said, "Fuck around," because Kingpin is the mayor of New York right now, and he don't his street officers. They ain't got the power to kill Superman. That's why I said, what if in Spider-Man 4?
Superman.
I mean, Spider-Man. And I said they don't have the power for a Spider-Man. So what if Wilson Fisk brings in Kraven, and he's the main villain for Spider-Man 4?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I can see it.
It can go so many ways. So many ways. Even in off a little bit off topic, something I read about the Doomsday thing, and how Loki is holding all the timelines together. Mm-hmm. He's holding them all together.
Literally,
he's the god of stories now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Loki. Okay. So we won't get to that too. Top
Right.
three, right? So top three shows, right? So all right. Now I'm gonna tell you my three things I didn't like. Muse is an Inhuman, right? He just didn't get to the Terrigen Mist yet. So I feel like they killed him off too early.
Oh,
too soon.
wow, I forgot about that.
Yeah. So I didn't.
And that's if they killed them off.
Yeah.
Because we saw them go into the room, they see him laying there. We ain't see what the hell they did with him afterwards.
Right.
So they can spin that easy.
Yeah, because Muse is an Inhuman. He has the power to. He ain't got to hook the stuff up as an Inhuman. He can just drain it out and use it. Whatever he thinks it paints. So I don't like how they killed Muse so easily. When if he took the Terrigen Mist and became an Inhuman, I think that would have been a better storyline than what they did with Wilson Fisk, right? You know what I'm saying? Let Kingpin finish building his empire before Daredevil goes on the attack, right? Because right now he's showing like, oh, I got the police, I got the city, I got the politicians, I got all this stuff. Let him finish building that up before you go build your army. The Muse storyline would have been a better storyline because it was one that was flying under the radar. So I feel like I didn't like that. They killed Muse too early, too soon. Didn't let him really do nothing, right? So I definitely didn't like that, right? I didn't like at the end of the finale we said we need to assemble an army, and you go in there and there's no power people in there. You had a bartender, a retired police officer, and a bunch of Asian police officers. You know what I'm saying? Like there were no power people in there. There was no White Tiger. There was no Luke Cage. There was no Jessica Jones. There was no Iron Fist. There was no Punisher. You know what I'm saying? There was like all the street level heroes running around New York. Kate Bishop wasn't there. Like they could have had Hawkeye in there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're
all on the same Earth. You're right.
They're all on the same Earth, right? Yeah. They are. This is Earth 616, the sacred timeline. Yeah. So I didn't like that part. You go to put together an army, but what is this army gonna do for you? Especially now that all the police know that Matt Murdock is Daredevil. You know what I'm saying? Now they all know. Like they all know you can't hide it. They know he Fisk sent them to kill you for a reason. Right. So they know. So the next thing they can do, the next thing they can do is expose him. This is your Daredevil. Which does happen. This is your Daredevil. So
yeah, because he goes to jail at one point in the comic books, and that's when Electric takes over as Daredevil.
Like you
there's
said,
a lot that happens.
I would like to see an Electric, right?
To your point, although I agree with what you're saying, they could not introduce Muse as the first Inhuman on this level of a show. That's such a big thing. Introducing the Inhumans. Of course they could have, but I'm saying I don't think that would have ever been their idea.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Reggie. So it was okay for them to introduce one on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Quake is an Inhuman. So they made it was okay for them to introduce them, but not on Disney Plus.
Okay, well, I will admit, I follow Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. so loosely, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
so now what you're saying makes sense.
Yeah, they introduced Inhumans. They on not besides the show, but they introduced a ton of Inhumans on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They introduced in other Marvel shows, even in the movies. We haven't had Inhumans in movies. They just don't know what to call them yet. We've had other Inhumans besides Quake and Muse.
Yeah, we saw the Inhumans on Earth 838.
Right?
It's 838 during the Doctor Strange joint. When the Illuminati.
What Black Bolt? Black Bolt was introduced, but that was on the big screen. But on the shows, like if we go back and look at all the shows, other Inhumans have been introduced. Yeah, but Quake was the original first one. She was introduced in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I believe it's like season 3, Daisy. So she was introduced, and then in Ant-Man Quantumania, they had 2 Inhumans in there.
Okay. In the bar scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
So, I mean, I just feel like they should have let him get the Terrigen Mist, or somebody gonna give it to him while he dead. Let him wake up and do his thing.
Yeah. Well, that would have been that would have been a good cliffhanger to end the show on, the finale on, like us seeing him somewhere and him getting a hold of it somehow or other, but we don't quite know what it means. And that would have been a good cliffhanger.
That's going to have to be explained because Miss Marvel is an Inhuman.
There we
Miss
go.
Marvel is an Inhuman. Yeah, so that's going to have to be explained somewhere down the line, other than the way because the origin story in her series is not the origin story that's in the comics.
Yeah.
Because of the bangle only activated what was already inside of her.
Right.
So, I mean,
but that goes back to what I said earlier about them bringing all the different Earths and kind of fusing, taking pieces here, pieces there, pieces there, because we see different storylines throughout the comic books too. Right? Like how there's a different storyline for the different Spider-Mans.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's part of it as well.
And then not only that, right? And this is one of the things that I firmly believe. I like the storytelling through the episodes. I firmly believe that they did everything they were supposed to, right? The third thing I did not like, right? And this is me personally, there were too many dry spells of no violence. It was too much storytelling.
For what Daredevil is in the comic books.
Yeah,
by comparison.
Yeah. Like I understand he's defending people and stuff like that. I do. I like that part. I like he's playing lawyer by day, Daredevil by night, stuff like that. But I was like, come on, man, you supposed to be out here stringing people up and whipping ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
let me ask you this: in y'all's opinion, do you think that was done based on number of episodes? Like if they had a season like 20 episodes, do you think they could have given us more?
I think that was done on purpose because season 2 is going to be so much more violent.
Yes, that's what I believe.
So you can't come in at 10, you know what I mean? And because you got nowhere to go.
Well, to your point, what did I say very early on? Like the first couple of episodes, I was like, Matt is becoming unhinged. Like he real unhinged in this one already. Yeah. And remember, there was one point where he like takes over the hand and he becomes power hungry. And that's where we see Moon Knight step in, because Moon Knight got to step in and Punisher, all of them. And they come in and kind of chill him out or whatever, because he like get real dark. But it's because he's being taken over. Like, what was it like?
So this is the thing right here. So in that storyline, everything that happened in the first season is kind of teetering towards that storyline. Because remember, how he was willing to kill Bullseye. Like he was willing to do this, but there's an anger and a darkness inside of him that he just wants to let out. Because he, you know what I'm saying? So they're teetering on that line. Will they cross it? We don't know. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. So we don't know.
Yeah, but like we said, they've left the door open for many possibilities, in my opinion.
Yep.
We can see a wide range of characters and a wide range of storylines.
What would you like to see? What would y'all like to see in next season? Like what are the things y'all would like to see next season besides more violence and a bigger kingpin? Like what are some things that y'all would like to see?
I need them to connect some dots. I need them to, like you said, if for some reason they brought the Defenders back, that would be great. But I would love to see Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Or Kate Bishop. You know, I would love to see that. I would love to see the actual actors, but I don't know if you could get, like, say, for example, a Tom Holland to do that. But even if they made some reference, if you saw him swinging in the distance, something to let them know that this is not their little world. This is Earth 616 or whatever Earth it may be, and just tie them in together a little bit more.
And you know what else I would like to see? This one of the things I would like to see. I would like to actually see not the Fantastic Four Tower, but I would either this would be a setup for the Midnight Suns or Doomsday. I would like to see street level. You looking in the background, and you see the tower where either Dr. Doom owns it, the Fantastic Four owns it, or Mephisto owns it. Because remember, Mephisto buys the tower, Tony Stark's tower in the Midnight Sun series. So I would like to see the tower being owned by somebody else, and I think we will get a taste of that in the Thunderbolts. Because in the Thunderbolts, not Yelena, what's her name?
The new Black Widow?
No, not the new Black Widow. The woman that put everybody together. No.
The girl, Julie Louis-Dreyfus character.
Yeah. They are having those meetings in the old Stark Tower. So who owns it? That's what I want to know. Who owns it? So I would like to see some of that, like in the background for like, oh yeah, they hitting the Victor Von Doom's tower, or something like that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I want to see the Hand and Elektra. I want to see them bring that storyline back, to kind of bring closure to what actually happened to her, what's about to happen with Daredevil because of the Hand.
Yep.
I would love to see that. I think that would kind of also open it up for us to then see the Defenders as well, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Or I would be even interested to see Heroes for Hire. Yeah. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Heroes for Hire. Like I would like to see that.
You think they would do that on Marvel television? Yeah,
why not? Why not?
Just kind of right. Like, why not?
Why not? and me personally, I don't think the Midnight Suns need a movie. I think a good Marvel series would be good for them. Oh
yeah, I agree with that.
Or like either that, like, or what is Daredevil? I would like to see what Daredevil and them are doing when real world events are happening. Like Doctor Strange is going through something over here in this part of New York. He's in Manhattan. Spider-Man going through this in Queens. He's in Hell's Kitchen. Like what is going on? What is he doing while this stuff is going on? That's what I kind of want to see. What is he doing while this stuff is going on? How is he helping control the crowds, control the panic, stuff like that? Where is he at? Like, where was he at during the attack of New York? What was Daredevil doing then? I want to see that. I want to see that kind of stuff.
Oh, so basically bringing that story back to the front, but it's like now from his perspective or from that perspective.
Yeah, I would like to see that.
You got a point there because, like you said, they mentioned like the aliens and blah blah blah. Like they mentioned like little soft mentions the stuff that happened in the Avengers movies. Where was Daredevil when the portal opened up in the sky?
Right.
Fighting
because he should have been. Him and Spider-Man should have been like the first non-Avengers there.
Yeah. And if you think about it, because he got PTSD, so he still be having flashbacks and trauma, all that stuff, right? Like he has this. So why not have flashes from when that was going on, or when when stuff was going on with Doctor Strange, or when the Will came and tried to take Doctor Strange from in Infinity Wars? Like, what was he doing during that time?
Yeah, because all this stuff is happening in their backyard.
It's right there in New York.
Where were the rest of them? What was Jessica Jones doing? What was Luke Cage doing? Like, where was everybody doing when all this stuff? When your city is literally getting blown up.
And they can do that in flashbacks.
They can do it. They'd have to do it in flashbacks because, like you said, they all live in so many different boroughs.
Yeah.
Because actually, Doctor Strange lives in Brooklyn.
Oh yeah,
he lives in a brownstone in Brooklyn. You know. And like you said, Spider-Man's from Queens. He's probably the one that could get there the fastest. But Luke Cage and them couldn't fly there. So what were they doing in their part of New York when all this was going on? And
it could be a flashback of simply, like you said, using Luke Cage as the example. They watching it on the news like, yo, what the fuck is happening? Like,
yeah.
It don't even have to be nothing elaborate.
Yeah. Daredevil's just sitting there chilling, watching it. And then he just suits up and he goes outside. And he'd be like, everybody get back, blah, blah, blah. directing traffic, stuff like simple stuff. Like what was he doing this time? During the blip, he was him and Foggy was hanging out. Then Foggy disappeared, and then he was like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you feel what I'm saying? Stuff like that. What happened during that time?
Yeah, they're gonna have to correct some things. They do a pretty good job of doing that. And the example I'm gonna give you is when they did the Thor movie Ragnarok, and Thor goes over and sees Hulk. That whole storyline is World War Hulk.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
But now they're doing a movie for World War Hulk. Mm-hmm. And like we're talking about now, when that happened, I was like, they killed that because that is such a
I remember you saying that
part of the Hulk world, and they just wasted it. And now they're gonna have to explain that because they already did
it. Now hear me out though. Hear me out. Now this is where they tried to fix it though in She-Hulk. So remember, Sakaar. Remember in Sakaar, Beta Ray Bill was the hero. So remember they had on the tower, they had Beta Ray Bill face there, they had the Hulk face there, so all the greatest heroes, right? So and they had Thor in there. Now remember, when in She-Hulk, Hulk showed up with his son Scar.
Yeah, in the end.
In the end, like this is Scar, you know, blah blah blah, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And they be like, and then everybody's been asking, where have you been? You've been gone. Where have you been all this time? Blah blah blah. Where have you been? Every movie after he wrote out, where have you been? You're back home now, but where have you been? And when he explains where he has been, he don't explain to nobody where he's been. I think this is gonna be the story showing where he has been.
What happened in between that time?
In between
that would be a smart. That would be a smart way to play it.
Because everybody's been asking, where were you, Bruce? Where were you, Bruce? Where were you, Bruce? Before Thanos, where were you, Bruce? Where were you? You know what I'm saying?
That would actually make good sense. For them to play it that way.
Because Scar is not young, so that means he'd been gone for a long time.
For a big minute.
Yeah.
No, what they need to explain is how he got a fucking son after he told Black Widow, you know that ain't a life I can live. I can't be having babies. You remember that?
Because he got with a thorough bitch.
And that's what it was.
All of that. She took all of that. Okay.
She wasn't dropping him off cliffs and shit to make
it. She took all of that.
She's like, now fuck that.
Yes. She was like, get angry. I want to be angry.
Turn green in me. No DD. Yeah.
Shout out to Sakar's mom.
Yeah, real, man. But if you think about that.
But let me ask a quick question. And I know we're getting a little bit off the topic. This is a Daredevil episode, but even in that, at some point he's going to revert because now he's like Professor Hulk. But at some point he's going to revert back to like being more rageful than we know him to be now, which is what we as fans wanted anyway. So so you're going to explain where he was, and now he's going to turn back into a even more unhinged Hulk, and they got to explain all of that.
So I'm gonna tell you why I wish they didn't kill off the Kang the Conqueror multiverse story, right? I'm gonna tell you why. So what's going to happen is he's going to encounter older, bigger, meaner versions of himself. And they're the ones that's going to bring it out of him. They're going to treat him like a weakling, like he don't belong, stuff like that. And that's what's going to bring it out of him. That's what's going to happen. So that's why I wish they didn't kill the multiverse, the multiverse saga. Like they killed it right before Kang was about to start getting really, really good.
I think that they're fitting to use the Loki storyline of him holding all the timelines together to answer all of this, because let's go back to Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yep.
As far as we know, Wolverine dead. He in the grave somewhere. We in Deadpool and Wolverine, again, if y'all ain't seen it yet, spoiler alert, but you should have seen it by now. You know, Deadpool travels through all these different timelines to find a viable Wolverine. Right? That's where we get to see some of the Wolverines we see in the comic books, the short Wolverine, the debonair Wolverine, blah, 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 blah.
The cavalry.
The cavalry, okay? Right? So why wouldn't they use Loki as the catalyst for all of that?
Yeah,
You got him holding together all these timelines, like you said. Galactus destroys Fantastic Four's Earth, so they use that to go find and put all these stories together and correct, quote unquote, correct the stories.
So with him replacing Kang at the end of time and being the god of stories, right? He can't interfere.
No,
like he can't interfere. He can only watch. He can only watch. He can send pieces of himself, like duplicates of himself down there, but he can't interfere. So I think it's gonna get too the timeline is gonna get so bad, especially once Doom gets beyond his power. That's why I wish they didn't get rid of Kang, because Kang exudes the beyond his power, and then boom, he kills Kang, becomes beyond the Doom, and that's how Battle World starts. Boom, you know what I'm saying? I create my own world. This is the timeline, etc., etc., etc. So I wish they didn't kill off that Kang the Conqueror series. Yeah,
he's supposed to be coming back. I don't know, and to what end? But he is supposed to be coming back.
Well, they're gonna bring him back to die, because they're gonna bring him back. They're gonna show him. They're probably gonna show him as Kang, superior Kang, or whatever the case may be. They're gonna show him. He's gonna come back, and then he's gonna meet Doom, and Doom is gonna do his thing, and then Doom is gonna take his power. So he's gonna make, once he becomes Beyond the Doom. Beyond the Doom is one of the most vicious people in the whole Marvel comics period. Like he kills gods, he kills planets, he kills everything. Like there's not many above Beyond the Doom. Yeah. So I mean, and that's rough, because we're literally going to see after all this time watching Marvel, we're literally going to see in Doomsday a bunch of our favorite characters die. A bunch of them, and they're not going to come back.
I can definitely see that.
They're not coming back. They're going to die, and that's going to be it. And we're not getting Eternity anymore. They already said Eternity is not going to be in Secret Wars or Doomsday.
So, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so we're not getting Eternity. You know what I'm saying? Hercules is going to be in it. We're going to get characters like that, because they're going to need it. But no, we're not getting none of the people that really, really need. America Chavez is not in Doomsday.
In Doomsday.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't know. I feel like we're going to get a few surprises. Like, I feel like they showed us what they wanted us to know right now.
Yeah.
I feel like we're going to see a few surprises. Even if it's just cameos or whatever, I think we're going to see a couple of surprises.
In Doomsday, there are other characters that I'm sure going to be in it. Spider-Man. They're going to be other characters, but they have too many ground level
they do
heroes for Beyond the Doom. Way too many.
But you can't tell me that you are going to have a movie with the original X-Men and Wolverine ain't one of them. Storm ain't one of them. Rogue ain't one of them. You cannot tell me that. That just don't make sense aesthetically. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, if you're trying to get back to the core and the root of what the real fans want to see, that's what you do. If you come in heavy with Magneto, Patrick Stewart, and you know what I'm saying, then you're gonna give us the full Monty. So that's why I feel like they got some surprises for us. They just showed us.
And let me say this really, really quick. When you talk about what the fans want to see, we all to a person want to see Rogue steal Miss Marvel's powers.
Facts.
Yeah,
I've been waiting on that for years.
Literal.
Yeah, no, for real.
I need that bitch to be in a coma.
Literal years.
Yeah, for real.
Like, for real.
So now get back on track, because we can do this all day. Daredevil. Jackass Daredevil edition. So so out of all the Marvel shows they've come out so far, rank your top 3.
Ooh.
Just the shows?
Just the shows. Just the shows they've come out so far in the new MCU.
Top 3 in no particular order?
No, in order. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1 if you want.
You're killing me, Smalls. Loki remains top tier for me. Specifically season 2. Loki remains top tier, number 1 for me. Daredevil moved himself right on up in the top 3 for me because
you mean the Reborn?
Born Again?
Born Again, yeah.
Yeah, Daredevil Born Again made itself worthy for me. And I'm going to go out here and say what is probably not popular opinion and say that I like what they did with Hawkeye. I was pleasantly surprised. I expected that to fall a lot flatter than it did, but it gave us a few different characters to start wondering about. We've talked about them on this show already, like talking about Kate Bishop and whatnot. You know what I mean? I don't know. Let me think harder on my third one.
Well, the first two I'm going to say definitely Loki is number 1. I think Loki is going to be number 1 on all our lists. I really do like Daredevil Born Again. But I'm sitting here thinking, like I said, I didn't pay a lot of attention to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so I can't comment on that. Out of all the other ones, I liked the original Daredevil, the Netflix version.
I
did like that one. They did a good job.
And they did a good job of letting him be the first. Was he the first or the second one?
The first.
He was first, and then it was Luke Cage. Right? Yeah. So and I'm gonna tell you, in my top 3, it would be Luke Cage, and just because the characters, Avery Woodard's character she was as vicious as Vanessa, but she was this businesswoman, city official, and then Cottonmouth was her brother, and then again they showed the backstory of them growing up, and how they grew up and became the people that they were, the way that the grandma, I believe it was the grandmother, raised them. So I really liked the development of that. I like the fact that Misty got her arm cut off. Because she ends up getting a fake arm and doing her thing. And
they had the night nurse, everything.
Right. I liked Luke Cage's character in general. So he's got to be in my top 3.
Okay. But I'm agree with y'all. Loki still number 1. Loki was number 1.
Oh, I'm sorry. Shout out to Miss Minutes. Amanda knows what I'm talking about.
And Miss Minutes.
She could get it. Miss Minutes could get it.
He wants to do things to Miss Minutes that you want to do to porn stars. Okay, we'll just leave it there.
I want Miss Minutes to do to me what porn stars do to him.
Excuse me, I stand corrected. Please forgive me for such a horrible mistake and misrepresentation.
That's right.
I'm gonna need a Gumby suit and a 42.
That's it.
A 42 weight.
Look, that's it.
I'm sorry.
How things go left. How things go left.
So mine's gonna be Loki, right? So Daredevil Born Again is my number 2.
Okay.
Right? That's my number 2. So I was up in the air.
Which Loki? The first season or second season?
The whole
season. Okay.
Loki is a whole.
Fair.
Right? Daredevil Born Again so far, right? And then I was up in the air with my number 3 between the Punisher. Yeah. Because the Punisher's my guy. I like good. And like he be thugging it out. Moon Knight, WandaVision, because WandaVision set the whole pace for everything, and Secret Invasion, because Secret Invasion gave us something. It gave us something to ponder on. Like, okay, so the Skrulls are here. Like, you know what I'm saying? The Skrulls are here. So this was going on. There's really a war going on, right? But out of all of those ones I just named, I'm gonna go Loki, Daredevil, and I am gonna have to go.
See, that third one hard.
Third one is hard.
Because I like the fucking Winter Soldier too. I'm gonna have to go Secret Invasion.
Okay. So those were one of when I was like, okay, Hawkeye. I was Secret Invasion was one.
Yeah.
And Moon Knight was the other one.
Yeah.
Between Moon Knight and Secret Invasion, I don't know.
I would.
Secret Invasion edges out Moon Knight just a little bit.
No. I mean,
I got a question for y'all. Why Born Again? And just talking about Daredevil, why Born Again over the original series? Other than the fact that Marvel does a better job, because for me, I love Sticks.
Yep.
His character,
I would have loved to have seen Sticks, even if it was a flashback in this series.
Again, Sticks is the person we really want Daredevil to be. He'll kill somebody and don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's really like the bridge between the Punisher and Daredevil.
Yep.
If they had a kid, it would be Sticks.
It'd be Sticks. Now I'm gonna tell you why I like Born Again better, because Born Again has more upside. They gave us in 9 episodes what it took Netflix 22 episodes to give us, 20 episodes to give us. There's more upside with this. They could give us more in 9 or 10 episodes than we were getting with Netflix in 6 months of episodes.
And wasn't the Netflix episodes, weren't they an hour? Whereas this one on Disney Plus is like 45 minutes average.
Well, they might have been. I just like that whole hand narrative. The hand
I agree with the hand narrative.
Thing, navigating through all of their side things before they became the Defenders. The fact that when they killed the first, because the hand was actually like 4 or 5 different people, and they killed the first one, and they was like, "Yo, ain't nobody kill a hand in like 1,000 years." To let you know that that's really an accomplishment. You know, so it was. I don't know. I mean, when I just think of the narratives of them, not based on budget, and you know, I think that they rival one another more than people want to admit.
Well, so this is the thing right here. So even with Netflix budget, because Netflix has very, very violent shows and movies on it, the violence that we seen in these 9 episodes of Born Again, we did not get that on Netflix. Even with the Punisher we seen on Disney Plus, we got little pieces and glimpses of that on Netflix. Now they did the Punisher his just due. I'm not gonna lie, on Netflix, out of all the shows that Netflix had, it was my favorite one. Be honest, because they did him his just due. But the violence, the way they was in the kitchen going at it, and how he was just gunning people down and all that stuff, and how it took so many, he was getting shot in the back with shotguns and all that stuff, and he was just getting up because his anger consumed him. We didn't really, we got that a little bit on Netflix, and the budget on there, because it wasn't no sci-fi, CGI, none of that stuff on Netflix. We didn't get that. If that makes sense.
It does. I think agree. Kevin Feige is a big part of that too.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm the only one here with a 10-year-old kid. I was able to watch Netflix with the kid, that series with the kid, and if something came up, you knew it was coming up, and it was like, all right, turn your head, close your ears, leave the room, right? On this one, the Born Again, you can't watch this. Period. You cannot watch this. Not let me see the episode first and then I let you know. No, you can't watch this one. That's it. Yeah. And I think that's the very distinct, for me, from my peer view, that's the very distinct difference.
And they set the pace early, killing Foggy.
Yes.
Killing Foggy, the fight scenes, people dying in the bar, Daredevil getting stabbed up, throwing bullseye off the roof. They set the bar early.
Yeah. And they didn't just throw him off the roof. We watched him fall and hit the ground. Like,
let me tell you something. And that was done very specifically on purpose.
Yeah.
Because that lets you know from the rip, oh, this ain't the Daredevil from Netflix.
This about to be a bumpy ride, so buckle the hell up.
This is a different motherfucker right here.
Fucking right.
He was just like,
even when they shot Foggy, you saw it, you oh shit, like from the rip. That's the first 5 minutes of the episode.
And then think about this: the way they did Muse, the way Muse was just killing people. Like Muse, they showed him about the like killing people. Like they showed him, oh y'all come on over here, get this work, blah blah blah.
Legit,
dead bodies hanging all over the place and stuff like that. I was like, oh yeah, see, yeah,
they ain't playing.
Yeah.
That's so like I said, that's the distinct difference for me is that the first one, on Netflix, I could watch it with my kid, tell him to turn his head, leave the room if something was coming up, but so there's a no-go on this joint on Disney Plus.
Okay, so now 1 out of 10, what would y'all rate the Born Again?
1 out of 10?
Yeah, 1 out of 10.
If finale hadn't fallen flat, they would have got a 10 out of me.
Ooh.
They would have got a 10 out of me if they didn't fall. You know what? Let me not be biased. They would have got a 9.5 out of me because, like I said, there was a couple little things I wish they had done that they didn't do. But with the season finale falling flat, which to me is the anchor, that first episode and that last episode of a season, those are the anchors. That's what you tell people. Oh, you got to see the first episode. Oh, you got to see the finale. Oh, that's going to get you hooked. That's the thing that gets you hyped for a show. Yep. So with that falling flat, I give it like 8.5.
Okay.
8.5.
Reggie?
First of all, I'm gonna give you my number, but can we speak on the fact that Karen has slept with everybody?
That bitch fucking everybody.
Yeah.
Yo, hey Daya, me and Reggie watching the show, right? And then her and Punisher giving each other the look.
Yeah, the
and
look.
I'm like, this bitch fucking, and she fuck Punisher, she fucking everybody.
And she's like, so you called? He was like, Matt was like, so you call Frank? How often do y'all talk?
Yeah. How often y'all motherfuckers?
And it was can I tell you, she was so funny because it's certain things as a male you'll pick up that your female friends won't about another male, and vice versa. We're sitting there watching it, and it was like real subtle. And I'm watching, but I'm not paying that kind of attention. And okay. Yo, she fucked him too.
She fucking
like
everybody.
She was right on there, yo.
And I think she was fucking foggy. Like she giving it up to everybody. Yeah. And mind you, I said to Reggie, look, it's his fault though, because had he given it up the night that Foggy died, because she was trying to take him home that night at the bar. She was talking the shit to him at that night. I was like, if Matt Murdock had given it up.
Let's not forget. After you fuck She-Hulk, Karen just not gonna do it for you.
She wasn't gonna do it. Yeah. You got to do some big green force.
Karen Page ain't gonna happen for you.
Yeah, I mean, you do some stuff, but that's just regular stuff now.
Yeah.
Missionary not gonna work for me no more because I done been with She-Hulk.
That motherfucking She-Hulk had him walking home barefooted.
He changed his uniform to gold.
Oh man, that's funny as shit.
Yeah. Oh, y'all crazy.
So yeah, I agree with Amanda. I was going to say somewhere. I'm gonna say 8.75 because it's somewhere in between an 8.5 and a 9.
You just gotta be so extra. You can't just be like 8 or 8.5. You gotta make it a 3/4.
8.75.
This motherfucker.
And mainly the biggest thing is the way the season finale ended. Not even just necessarily the final episode, but the way the season finale ended.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing for me. Karen, her character, I mean, she serves a purpose, but I could take her or leave her.
Yeah.
But again, she is the definition of privilege. She shot a motherfucker and moved away, and nobody never questioned her about
nobody asked shit. Nobody asked shit.
I mean, not to call Karen a Karen, but
hey, she's a Karen.
you gotta call it what you call a spade, goddamn. So I give it a 7.5.
Okay.
I mean, I'm giving it a 7.5.
That's a C+.
Yeah. I'm giving it 7.5 because only reason I'm giving it 7.5, right? Because I feel like I wanted more. I do. I feel like the storytelling was good, stuff like that. And it was like I like how they built Kingpin up. I like how they they was like battling each other's demons. Him and Daredevil was battling each other's demons and stuff like that. I like the script writing all the way up into the last episode and all that stuff, right? But it was just something about it that I wanted more. I didn't like the Muse thing, but I love the fight scene and stuff like that. I love how Muse kept going. I love how Muse exposed himself and stuff like that. But it's like I wanted more. So I'm gonna give it 7.5 though.
I mean, I'll take that. I mean, that's your opinion. I can't argue your opinion, but I'm going to double back to what we said a little while ago. We all wanted more, but they can only give us so much because it's the first season.
Because it's the first season, yeah.
It's like the first Avengers. It was good.
Yep.
But as we moved on, it was, you know, other than a few fight scenes when like Thor and Iron Man were fighting, you know, it was okay. But then as the characters grew, it became better. I think they know that they didn't give us, they left us wanting, and I think that was done on purpose. But you can only give us so much, unless it's only going to be a 1-season thing.
I would be mad if the next season is longer.
I wouldn't be surprised by that.
By maybe 12 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Not too much. Not 22. Not 20. Not 19. Maybe just like 12 episodes.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be surprised to see that actually.
Because we're going to need something between what's supposed to come out next February. What movie's supposed to come out next February? Damn, I forgot what movie's supposed to come out next February. But we need something between that and Avengers Doomsday.
What's next? Thunderbolts is next, then
Fantastic Four.
Uh-huh.
Hold on, let's pull it up and see.
Oh
Hey,
yeah.
I got nothing but time, baby. Pull it up.
I got nothing but love for you, baby. Yeah, because that'll tell a lot of the story.
Hey, you should see these people walking past this car looking at me like,
what's he doing back there?
Yeah.
What's this motherfucker?
I fully suspect that the police gonna knock on my window and like, fuck.
They're like,
You on here?
they're like, sir, what you doing? I'm like, oh shit, Reggie.
Tell them
Nope.
they on camera.
I'm gonna put them right on the camera and say, listen.
All right, let me see. Oh no, this not a real one. I'm looking for a real one.
Mm-hmm.
The schedule.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Oh man.
Okay. March 21st, 2025. This is the last official update. All right, so we got Born Again. Then let me see what's coming after Born Again. Let's see, after Born Again.
I'm reading something that says that the February 13th slot, that no official information has been released.
Yeah.
But it's speculation that it might be the Armor Wars or Shang-Chi 2.
No, I don't know about that.
I don't know about Shang-Chi, but
yeah, no, I don't know about that because they would have.
But
you know what? He's been doing a lot of interviews lately. The dude that plays Shang-Chi,
mm-hmm.
he been doing a lot, and you know how they do, like on the radio, right? They start playing a bunch of songs like you ain't heard from certain artists in a long time, and you like they coming out with a new album or something, and then sure enough.
And now I'm gonna tell you, that would be the perfect time for them to do between there. That would be the perfect time because Wonder Man comes out in December, and then in February they do
this December.
Yeah,
right?
this December, and then after that they do Daredevil Born Again. Releasing in January because between Fantastic Four and Avengers Doomsday, there are no movies.
Yeah.
I'm looking at that. There are no movies on the except for Spider-Man, and you know Spider-Man
is not until July though, 26.
Oh, they moved. Yeah, they did. I'm looking at it now. They did move it.
Yeah.
And then after that, it says, Spider-Man, brand new date, July 26th.
Uh-huh.
And then after that, Secret Wars, May 7th, 2027.
Yeah.
And then after the Secret Wars, they're gonna close it out. And we're gonna move into the Mutant Saga.
Oh wow.
Can they bring my baby back to the screen? I'm just saying.
Oh, Kelsey.
Yes. You want to talk about a blue beast that can get it? Yes.
Okay, let me see. Black Panther spinoff, Eyes of Wakanda. Ironheart is June 24th. Wonder Man, December 25. Vision Quest, no release date. Nova, still Nova Quest. I mean, I wish they would get that Nova done.
Yeah, the Nova would be high. That would be fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Thor 5, Doctor Strange 3. They don't need to make any more Black Panthers.
I mean,
I think they have to introduce his successor at some point, which is going to be his son.
I think they're gonna do that in Eyes of Wakanda.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you're talking about after that. No need after that, you're saying?
Yeah. Because Shuri's already gonna be in Doomsday. I think you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that'd be the perfect time to relinquish her role as the Black Panther.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right, so any final thoughts on Daredevil?
Marvel Television. It cracked me up now that they've got these different tiers, MCU, Marvel Television, blah, blah, blah. Marvel Television. This is a direct call out to you. You better come hard with season 2. Don't have me out. I said to Reggie a couple days ago, that's that old Stevie Wonder song, Rocket Love. You got me riding on this rocket. And then you just drop me back down to this cold, cold world. And that's what y'all did with that season finale. Y'all better come hard.
I wish they had recorded like more episodes at once. And then just like space it out, like how they do Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai, they record the whole season. Then they just give you 9. They give you 9 more later. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
Yeah. It's like nonstop.
No, yeah, because right now they're actually out there recording. Because on Marvel's page, Kingpin and Daredevil was in Foggy's gym.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, so that's what. Listen, I just need them to like bring it all the way for season 2, because they can't give us what they gave us and then have us like this it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much to piggyback on what you're saying, I just need them to keep doing the job that they're doing and turn it up a notch as far as connecting the dots and tying all of these characters together. And they when they do it. When what's her name? The black chick ended up in the X-Men universe, Monica.
Oh, Monica
Rambeau. Yeah.
Yeah, like when they do it, right. But they need to continue to do that, because they do a great job of I think quenching our thirst, I should say, as far as these characters since they started. But we also are used to seeing them work together as a team so much more. And they do it with Avengers and everything, but if you pick up a comic book, Submariner might be with the Fantastic Four, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They need to continue to grow that. I'd like to see more crossovers.
So I think right now that they're going to work with solo projects, right? Because especially after the way Captain America did. So like, look at what we got coming up. We got Thunderbolts. We got the Fantastic Four. Then we got Avengers Doomsday. Next 3 movies. I think they're going to work in these solo projects and stuff like that. Only reason Captain America was so important because they introduced Animanium.
Yeah.
With Tiamat. Tiamat still hanging out the Earth. They introduced Animanium. So, well, I mean, me personally, I'm ready to see what the next season holds. Hopefully the violence level is a little bit more escalated, and writers, don't leave us on no BS finale. Kingpin ain't got to go to jail, but it got to be more than what it is.
Yeah, something got to happen. Listen, and writers, just so you know, I am open to being on the panel, of suggestions All right. IXXAmanda@yahoo.com. I am more than open to being an advisor. Yeah, like y'all need to bring it, make it happen.
We actually talk about that all the time, and maybe we should start sending our ideas because that's what they need. Fandom. They need fandom.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
So
But,
true.
oh yeah, okay. Well, we should do that. Take notes and send them in. Like, what about y'all try this? Or like, I'll be like, yeah. So somebody sneaks in and wakes Muse up. A supervillain goes in and wakes Muse up, giving the Terrigen Mist, and then they pull him off world.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But man, listen, I'm glad we got a chance to chop it up with about Daredevil and everything else Marvel. Come on, about
we can never just stay on one topic, can we?
No. So tell everybody again where they can find y'all at, because this is almost time for us to get the hell up out of here.
Yeah. I am your girl, Amanda Lockhart Davis, host of Life Uncensored podcast, navigating adulthood one episode at a time. Instagram, LinkedIn, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook. Come check me out.
Yeah.
And you can find me in these streets.
Looking for a Gumby outfit.
Yeah.
Looking for a Gumby outfit. Y'all make sure you split it in the front.
Keith Reginald Franks, a.k.a. Reggie. I have my own driving service called Where To. Yes. And you can reach me at keithfranks19@yahoo.com. And my what I'm trying to say, my page is coming. Nice. Yes, my page is coming. People have been asking for it, and I've been procrastinating, but it's time. So I'm going to start linking some stuff in, and you can always catch me with these two nuts. If you can't get to me, remember how to get to me through them. Okay? So that's the best thing I can tell you.
And there it is.
There it is. Now, all you assholes, y'all know where to find me because you watch me every week. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And thank y'all for y'all continued support. You know what I'm saying? Cheers. All right?
Cheers.
Now, hey, y'all have a good weekend. Be safe. It's starting to warm up. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Ladies, if you about to be outside with those sundresses on, no drawers allowed, baby. I want to see that thing clapping. You understand me? Now, with that being said,
but you got to have something to clap. See, that's what he didn't say. You got to have something to clap, though.
Hey,
you can't be out here.
Baby, little booties matter. All right, little booties matter, man.
LittleBootiesMatter.com.
Yeah. Now, with that being said, man, I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. And I'll see y'all next week, man. Coming with more fire heat. So, love y'all. Peace out. Get the fuck out of here.
I want to talk to y'all when you close it. I want to talk to y'all.